Video games have different kinds of genres. You've got action-adventure, JRPGs, and puzzle games. My favorite video game genre is platformer. I love platformers. To me, they're the best way to play video games. It doesn't matter if it's 2D or 3D. I'd play both. I've played all kinds of platform games throughout my years of gaming. But there's one game that is so amazing, yet so obscure. That game is called Ristar. Ristar is a 2D platformer that was released for the Sega Genesis in February 1995. Despite the game being very good, it didn't get that much promotion from Sega and it sold very poorly. Which sucks because Ristar was not only one of the best games for the Genesis, it's also one of the most unique games back then. He can't run as fast as Mario. In fact, he only walks, and his jump is not that good. But he makes up for all of these flaws by having stretchable arms. There are so many things that makes this game so unique. But let's start with the controls. Ristar only has 3 controls. He walks, jumps, and grab. That's it. Despite how simple the controls are, the game takes full advantage of what you can do. Grabbing is your only method of attacking enemies, but you can do so many things with this move. See, Ristar can actually extend his arms in 8 directions, giving you different ways to attack an enemy. He can also hold on to enemies by holding the B button. This can be useful for holding on to flying objects and take you to another section of the level. This game constantly gives you new ways to progress through a level using your grab move, and I love it. It's amazing how many things Ristar can do just by grabbing things. Ristar can perform another move called the Meteor Strike, but it requires you to use a star handle. You grab and hold onto a star handle, then press the D-pad in the direction Ristar is facing to increase your speed. When you think you've gotten enough speed, just release the B button and you'll do the Meteor Strike. Once you're in this state, you're temporarily invincible, so it's useful for getting through a section full of spikes. It's kind of like the rocket attack for Rocket Knight Adventures, another game for the Sega Genesis. One more thing that makes Ristar so special are the levels. The game gives you 6 planets to explore, and each planet contains 2 levels, a mini-boss on the first level and the main boss on the second level. While the 2 levels on each planet share the same theme, they feel distinct from one another by having different music and backgrounds. Take Planet Freon for example. The first level is snowing and has a lot of ice that'll make you slip and slide across the stage. But the second level isn't snowing anymore and has a lot of water flowing across the background. The graphics for this game makes the levels look so beautiful. Ristar is definitely one of the best looking games the Genesis has ever put out. I mean, just look at the attention to details that's put in these levels. It really feels like I'm exploring an entire planet. The bosses in this game are really cool too. They aren't just your regular baddies. The main villain of this game, Kaiser Greedy, used his black orbs to corrupt the inhabitants in the Valley system. So most of the bosses you encounter used to be regular citizens of their planets who got brainwashed by Greedy. There isn't a single boss in the game that I dislike. But my favorite boss fight is definitely the boss of Planet Scorch. The fight can be a bit difficult at first, but once you've memorized his patterns, you can beat him without taking a single hit. Also, I really like how at the end of the fight, it's revealed to us that he's just this cute little mole, and he was just wearing an armor this entire time. I don't have that much criticisms for Ristar. I will admit that this game should have had more levels. I mean, Sonic 3 and Knuckles had way more levels than Ristar, and that game came out before this game did. So yeah, if you still can't tell, Ristar is a fantastic game and I highly recommend you play it. It's such a shame that this game never got a sequel. Jet Set Radio and Nights got a sequel. Why didn't Ristar get a sequel? If Sega ever plans to make a Ristar 2, they should get the people who made Sonic Mania to do it. I know it's weird for me to suggest a bunch of Sonic fans to make a Ristar sequel, but these guys made a 2D Sonic game that plays exactly like the 16-bit classic Sonic games. It even has the same graphics as those games. Yes, these people probably have never played Ristar before and have no idea how to make a Ristar game, but the gameplay is really simple and it only takes an hour to complete the game. Hell, if they want, they can even play the Game Gear version and take some inspirations from that game too, since the Game Gear version had some gameplay mechanics that the Genesis version didn't have. Even if these guys have never played Ristar before, it won't take them that long to learn how Ristar works. But yeah, let me know down in the comments, what do you think of Ristar? Do you think it's an underrated gem, or am I just praising the game too much? And that about wraps it up for this video. I'm Surge397, and I'll see you on the next video.